Hey folks, I'm the MysteriousJG, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect Andromeda. It occurred to me near the end of this last video there. We're exploring a new galaxy, but as some dialogue earlier indicated, the first contact war is in living memory of our Krogan crew member. Krogans live for like several hundred years, as I recall. Sari can live over 1,000 years. Solarians live only to be like in their 40s or 50 at the very most, and the other intelligent species generally live about the same life as humans. But the reminder, the Krogan, Ashley's father or grandfather, I think, in the original Mass Effect, Ashley's father or maybe grandfather, but I think it was father, was disgraced in the first contact war with the Turians, which basically means that the human characters who are kicking around right now, let's say it was her grandfather, that means that it's not in living memory for them, but it's within the last 200 years or so. It's within a generation or two that humans have made first contact, and they're already planning trips outside of their own galaxy. I know for storyline purposes and world building purposes why they did it. They wanted to start a whole new trilogy, and they could build up new shit and didn't have to rely entirely on the original Mass Effect trilogy. But when you think about it, the rate at which humanity has decided to expand past not only its own solar system but its own galaxy is pretty insane. Anyway, we are in a system, and the other thing that got me thinking about it is that the Angara had once explored the Sabang system but have lost all knowledge of it since the Ket invaded their galaxy and started knocking them around. But I thought that happened within the last couple hundred years too, which begs the question: how long have the Angarans had spaceflight technology? I'm thinking maybe they got off world roughly the same time the humans did, just by chance. Anyway, anomalies detected.
Anomaly on sensors.
Uh-huh.
Probe away.
This is going to be EZO, probably.
Getting
Yep.
a scan.
Because it's all bright and blue. EZO is a good pickup, but mostly just because we're going to get some experience for completing the quest. I'm looking forward to getting some platinum and building that armor. Plus 30. This deposit of element 0 appears to have originated with the destruction of a large starship, though this is difficult to confirm. I'm assuming that we will eventually get some background on what the fuck's going on with the Scourge and the Remnant, but I'm thinking that we're going to find out some kind of backstory, which hopefully the people who made this game already know and are choosing to incrementally dole out information. But like, who built the massive destroyed starships of unknown origin? Hopefully this kind of stuff will all eventually tie in. So it sure looks like there's neat shit going on, but in fact, there's nothing scannable. Gestlir, named by the Angara for a word meaning roughly tranquil stone plain. Gestlir was reduced to a world of lava and electrical storms by the power of the Scourge. The power of Hercules, and that's the other thing to bear in mind. We're encountering all these planets that have been thrown off by the Scourge. And by thrown off, I mean they're all cuckoo crazy because the Scourge is destroying shit. Which begs the question of, when we discover what the nature of the Scourge is it actually a threat to the Milky Way that is just going to take a long time before it gets there?
I'm picking up something.
I'm picking up women at the club.
Deploying probe. Satellite detected.
Hey, one of the many satellites distributed by scouts from the Nexus, this unmanned station has been diligently studying the unusual features of PA-33. So, system report databanks prep for download. So what can we do with it? We get plus 50 Milky Way research data. Fantastic. Anyway, this is past 33. This unusually small and unusually tranquil gas giant was unknown until recently. Whether it simply went undiscovered or was wildly changed by the Scourge is unclear. Past 33 and past 13.
I am Puff. It means peace. I'm totally trustworthy, Snake. You can go on a date with me, and it's only marginally less creepy than going on a date with Master Miller.
Past 13. Wild plant growth flourishes on past 13 beneath thick surface ice. Only its crushing atmosphere makes past 13 inappropriate for mining frozen water. I take it eventually we're going to find 4 more planets to colonize if I'm understanding the way that the menus work. Or not the menus, the... this thing, yeah. We got 4 more planets that we're going to colonize. It's nice of the game to basically tell us that with the way this screen's laid out. In execution, it's not perfect, but I like the idea that there is a level of hospitaliano. There's a level of viability for settlement that you are influencing with what you do.
Anomaly detected.
Is it that moon? Past 13. Seas of liquid helium cover this strange world, reliably boiling whenever the temperature rises. I want to check out this moon. Can I do anything with you? No? Okay.
Deploying probe.
Big ass
Getting
deposit.
a scan.
Oh, it's an ice sheet. Helium freezes only at incredibly low temperatures and under severe pressure. In certain rare and intriguing circumstances, past 15 provides both. So we got experience for detecting an ice sheet. And we finished exploring this system. I don't necessarily want to go to these systems where there is missions to do. And I'm going to a system now that doesn't have missions marked, but it does look like I might potentially have to jump through a system with missions on it to get to the system that I'm going to. Don't know 100% how this is going to work.
Mineral wealth from this system once fed industry unfold, and well beyond.
One day that might be true again.
Shut up, what do you know?
Anomaly on sensors.
Also, you have unused skill points. Tooralura. Oh wait, I'm
Probe
Scottish.
launched. Got a reading from the asteroid belt.
Starship wreckage. Potentially home of Starship Troopers. These are the journeys, the voyages of the Starship wreckage. Its mission? To be the home of the Junkobots. Junkatron. Or whatever. This Ket mining vessel appears to have been torn apart from the inside. Likely mechanical failure. Destruction seems to be recent. Alright, so we got some stuff from that. Doesn't seem like we're going to get enough planetary scans without advancing the plot to get to 50. Still, I like to make sure that we're grabbing whatever resources we have available to us as soon as we can. I don't think there's a random factor in these. Maybe there is, and I should level up more before I go looking for these mineral deposits and whatnot. Rahir. Meteors impact Rahir regularly, bringing the riches of the asteroid belt to the planet's surface. Surface temperature 743 degrees, so maybe that's why we're not allowed to settle here. Description didn't say it, but I finally actually took the time to read something other than the description itself, and yeah, that's kind of hot down there. As an American, I'm more familiar with your Fahrenheit than your Celsius, and yet still, that would be 7 times the boiling point of water, unless I was misreading something. Isn't that Celsius? Celsius is 0 degrees is freezing water, 100 degrees is boiling water, minus 273 is no molecular motion, because that's the Kelvin scale is also based. It's the same degrees as the Celsius, just with a different starting point. I think. But again, I'm Fahrenheit. Americans are Fahrenheit. 32 is freezing. I don't even fucking remember what water boils at in Fahrenheit. Nobody knows. Makes no sense. An anagram poet describes. Somebody will tell me in the comments, and I'll feel like a goof, but that's cool. I'd rather be educated than not, as they say. An anagram poet is known as a Teop. An anagram poet described Tijorana as the gemstone eye of Nelesh. Its limestone surface glimmers with copper deposits, even though few explorers have ever made planetfall. Maybe I am misreading the surface temperatures drastically, but that one seems to be 9 times the boiling point of water. Generally, the surface temperature of your planet is more or less governed by distance from the sun, I thought. I don't know what the surface temperature is on a gas giant. I guess... I don't know if you would have time to not get crushed by the gravity of Jupiter before you'd notice how hot it was. Gasimo. Gold and aluminum dominate Gasimo's surface. Much of the equipment used by the Angara to mine the planet remains intact, albeit damaged and non-functional. Atmospheric pressure. Okay, so there's like barely any atmospheric pressure. I don't see any indication of. I guess atmospheric pressure is. There's nothing about gravity. Surface temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't be mining the shit out of this place if it's full of gold. It's like Voga. The Cybermen are going to totally want to destroy this planet, guys. Watch out. Watch out, guys. The Cybermen are coming. Big time. I'm challenging. Here's another one for Bobo. I'm challenging you. Big time. Suwarna's gravity frequently captures passing asteroids. Most plunge into its gaseous atmosphere, but a few remain permanently in orbit. Thrilling. Atmosphere pressure, 1.38 atmosphere. Surface temperature, I guess none. It's a gas giant, so there's no surface for there to be a temperature on. That follows a sort of logic. I don't want to go to the Null system because it's a little too close to Sol system, and well, maybe we can travel there without triggering the plot mission until we actually land on Vord. But either way, let's go to the Java system first. We can meet the members of the 3-man band. Although, actually, what's his face? The Scottish 3MB guy is now like former
Times forget how small we are.
Uh-huh. Scottish dude from 3MB was a former TNA champion who's now getting pushed on NXT. And as I record this, the man who comes in peace, who's I was talking about in previous videos, and I'm blanking on his name right this second. He's getting a push. He's the #1 contender on SmackDown for the Super title. So I guess it's really just crazy West Virginia guy, whose name I also can't remember because it's kind of late, who is still really not winning matches ever. Jinder Mahal is now top contender. Don't know how long that push will last. Hopefully, guy gets a chance to actually do some stuff because he's been at the wrestling thing for a while. I know this is of no interest to a lot of you guys. Don't worry, I'll move on in a moment. Heath Slater, he's the only guy who really still belongs in the Java system, the Jabba the Hutt system. Latafo. On the outer edge of the Java system, the lifeless world of Latafo creeps a few inches closer to the great black hole every year. Far in the future, it will be consumed. Minus 128 and 92 degrees or 182 degrees Celsius. Okay, nothing that interesting going on there. It doesn't seem like there's platinum on the surface of Eos. Otherwise, I just need to spend some time off screen looking for platinum. EHA-4. EHA-4's non-standard orbit appears to be a natural phenomenon unrelated to the Scourge. Our analysis suggests the orbit has been stable for a minimum of several 100 million years. Fascinating, Captain. Phenomena. 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 Bishop! Oh no! Sorry, that was for both. Okay. He will eventually watch this Let's Play. He ain't been. In the distant future, as that planet we were at a few minutes ago is sucked into the black hole, they will watch this Let's Play. Tarosh. Tarosh is an anagram, an Angaran term, meaning roughly cruel joke. Good joke. There may be valuable minerals in the mountains, but massive electrical storms and punishing atmospheric pressure keep them locked away. We are not finding a lot of great interest in this system. Suvi, anything? Nope. So it's a Ronhadin. Primitive ocean life thrives in this world, but ubiquitous maelstroms constantly batter the surface. If colonization is possible, it will be a long and difficult task. Let's hop back into our ship view and save the game before going to this new system, just in case that triggers a bunch of plot that I don't feel like dealing with yet. But assuming it doesn't until we visit the actual planet, I would like to just... we've looked at 18% of the total Helios cluster and 100% of what is available to us now. Although, actually, that's not true, because we got systems down here as well. These two planets that the Dudiac men, the Angarans, were on here are pretty far apart. It's kind of surprised that, like, us and our only colony, our like Nexus ship and our only colony are kind of both between them. Now, this is a bit strange. This is supposed to be a cluster, not a galaxy. I am not like an expert on like stellar cartography, but it does seem to be arranged around a swirling eye, the same way that a galaxy is. Well, I don't know. See, now I'd be perfectly happy to leave Eos be for a while, except that I know for sure, I'm almost positive, defeating the Ket base that's like hanging around, looming over our Padromus colony, would get us more Nexus points. I'm pretty much positive about that. Whether we get Nexus points for doing these missions to help get the Angaras as allies, in the long term, I'm sure it helps. In the short term, I don't know.
Anomaly detected.
There you go. You're on your keep again, Suvi.
Probe away. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Is it platinum? I want it to be platinum. Let it be platinum. Let there be platinum in the asteroids, and let it begin with me. It's copper. This asteroid is honeycombed with artificial caverns. The honeycomb hideout. A few fragments of remnant technology remain, though it appears another party, perhaps the cat, removed the rest. It's quite a bit of copper that we got, but I don't think copper is one of the rare ones that's hard for us to get. Was that 25% clearance of the system that we just got? Because if so, basically, we can scan these 2 planets and then scooch out of here, and the last planet that we haven't visited will be the one that would trigger plot. And unless the next 2 systems we come to have a lot of planets in them,
Anomaly detected.
I don't think we're actually going to get enough to succeed in this scan 50 planets quest without advancing the story. I knew it would be this thing once I saw the cool swirly shape.
Getting a scan.
A storm. The massive hurricane is carrying a sort of nitrogen-adapted plankton over the ocean.
My nitrogen-adapted plankton went over the ocean. My nitrogen-adapted plankton went over the sea. And my nitrogen-adapted plankton went over the ocean. Oh, bring back my nitrogen-adapted plankton to me.
Divios appears to be home to simple life forms. I didn't even notice what we got for that. Probably research points. Divios is largely covered in oceans and nitrogen churned by powerful winds. The storms make detailed surface scans difficult. PAS 35. I don't know what PAS stands for. Presumably it is an anagram, because it just seems to be that plus a number seems to be something where a planetary object. Object starts with an A, of course. It's some kind of designation we're giving to things that have not been named.
Picking up something.
Alright, well, past 55. Hydrogen and methane comprise the bulk of past 55's atmosphere. Innumerable tiny satellites drift in low in the gas giant's orbits, too dispersed to form a proper ring.
Probe away. Detecting what's left of a ship.
Ooh, SOS. Starship wreckage. This empty Angaran escape pod appears to have been drifting over past 55 for nearly a decade. Markings suggest it came from an exploratory vessel. Its data is now yours to carry forward. So we got some stuff, including Quarian nav processor. Of course the Angarian ships had that. Anyway, that's all we're getting out of this place. And I don't want to go to Voeld yet, because that's going to trigger plot. And I really want to get back to see if we can get 100% viability for EOS here in the next couple of videos. But let's go to Farang and assume that just entering the system won't trigger the next bit of plot.
This is home. Our ancestors came from this system. From Havaru. It looks so small from here.
Like a small piece
I'm
of
picking up something.
Havarti cheese.
Probe away. Getting a scan.
A Comet Dawnstar. Oh, what a cool name. Comet Dawn. Ah, platinum deposit. Yes, this comet is rich in the empirically useful nephrite. Isn't nephrite also known as Macfield Stanton? Although other elements have complicated exploration. My name is Maxfield Stanton. I'm a tennis coach. Very bright, but a second orbit is unlikely. Best to mine for it for other purposes. Plus 40 platinum. That is probably enough for what we wanted to do. So I will make sure to save the game in case we build this armor and it doesn't actually count as fulfilling that quest that I think it counts for. Because I don't particularly want to blow a bunch of platinum on an armor that I didn't necessarily intend to use. But I'm under this impression that this will get us the thing. Oh, we can actually put stuff in it. That is a point. We could put stuns melee attackers, increase max health. When health is 30% or less, plus 25% power status effect, plus 2% power damage boosts, 2% shield regeneration. On enemy killed, restore 25% of shields. That's actually pretty useful. 25% chance to recover 10% of health when shields are broken. For now, let's do... Let's see... Let's do that. Plus 2% max health, plus... I guess everything else that we've got that's potentially useful. Are you sure you want to do this? Okay. I am not convinced that... Okay, that did count for that thing. So we got 270 experience for doing that. So that was probably worth doing. These guys are awaiting debrief. They succeeded in their mission and got gold stuff. That's very cool. That's the whole point of those guys, is that they pick up negative traits as they go, but it's not that big a deal. You can afford to do that and just roll the dice and occasionally get some gold items out of them. We got Milky Way. Milky Way data is the worst kind that we could probably get. Black Widow Ultra Rare.
Pathfinder, you have new email.
So now we've got a new Black Widow. Is it a... we have a Black Widow 3. So we crafted a Black Widow 3. We just got a free Black Widow 3, which you can deconstruct. We could deconstruct our fancy new armor to get those mods back, if we felt like it. Oh, I gotta send these guys out on their new mission anyway. I just welcomed them back and didn't send them out on a new mission. You guys go take care of that, because it's the only mission that we got left. We'll pick up some more Milky Way research. I'll save my game again, because now I'm curious as what happens when I start deconstructing some of this stuff that's redundant. This is all modded up. I guess because it's equipped, I can't deconstruct it. If I deconstruct this, I will get Omnigel canisters, beryllium, lithium, and element 0. Interesting. It looks like when I acquire it, I don't get to use augments on it. Which probably means that this Deep Space Explorer armor that I'm using, I don't know if I can ever build that with, because it's something I got for getting the special edition or pre-ordering, or what, it was a bonus I got somehow. And I'm thinking I never get to put augments in it. If I had a better idea what encounter experience increase meant, I would know just how valuable it is. I forgot we got that monkey that we don't really get to do anything with. Pet it.
How'd you resist all that tasty fruit on Aya, huh?
Check your helmet before you put it on. This scratch? He was sleeping in mine.
Oh, zing. We got zany dialogue with our Pyjack. Not with the Pyjack. The Pyjack's not talking to us, but... Anyways, alright, so that's the thing. Instead of selling our gear, we could be ripping it apart for parts. But we did get some experience for our new, for building that armor. So that was something that I had been intending to do. Here's Bar. And you know what? Let's call it a video. It's we could go a little long and finish exploring this system, but there's another whole system to explore, so we might as well get to it all next time on the MysteriousJG. Thanks for watching. Depending on how long it takes us to finish exploring this next system, next time we might finally get back to Eos, like I've been intending to do for several videos. And we know there's a Ket base that we can attack. We also have heard that we might be able to undermine the Ket defenses before we attack, which might mean searching for other quests. Either way, I'm anxious to get just a little bit more Nexus points so that we can start getting more time-based rewards. See you next time.